Hey y'all, it's your girl Nadi, aka Queen Goddess Hope, coming to you with another stream. Just wanted to let you know that my favorite tool to utilize on YouTube is to speed up all videos to 1.25. You just touch the little tool mark or the settings icon in the right hand corner of the video and speed up the playback from normal to 1.25. It makes the world go around a little faster. Okay, if you are like me and don't really have too much time, but you know that you gotta listen to these videos at times, and hey, this tip is for you. One thing that I wanted to talk about today is the importance of sunlight. Y'all know I'm always talking about the sun, and we all know that there are some places where the sun has not shined in days, weeks even. I don't remember the last time I was in Baltimore outside. I think it was literally 2 weeks ago when the sun was out. It's been a while, and because of that, my sleep patterns have been thrown off. And it's not to say that because I'm up, trading between the hours of 10 and 3 p.m. to 3 a.m., my sleep patterns are already off. But typically, I would go back to bed and I would sleep for like a couple more hours and wake up between like 9 and 10, and then I'm doing what I gotta do around the house, right? So when I realized that the sun wasn't coming out, and I realized that even my face I felt like I had more blemishes or more dry skin because it's so cold. And thinking about what your skin does when it gets colder, it gets drier. So of course, naturally my face is dry. So now I'm about to, go crazy. But what made me think about it was there were several nights in a row that I couldn't go to sleep. And I'm not a caffeine person. In fact, I drink decaf. So if I want to have coffee, I don't even drink it every day. So it's like I started thinking like, okay, it's not caffeine. I sleep with a sleep mask. I'm very comfortable. The temperature in the room is pretty chill. So I don't really get what the issue is. And it was like, if you have various different types of sleep times that you go to sleep, or maybe you're using too much blue light. And I can say that I was definitely obsessed with my laptop screen, but I also have blue light glasses, so I felt like I was okay. But last night it took it to a whole new level because I had already the night before, the last 2 nights in fact, had maybe like 3-4 hours of sleep in those several days because I was obsessed with creating this website. And when I'm obsessed with a project, or when I'm passionate, I'll say that when I'm passionate about a project, I go crazy. And right now I'm in the final phase of a new project, and it's actually funny because the one that I just put out, braidsbyhope.wordpress.com, that is a completely separate project. So think about this: when you move in silence, people don't know what to expect next from you. Oh, she fell off. Oh, this. Oh, he fell off. He ain't that. No, we just don't like y'all enough to share what we're doing behind the scenes. So considering that I was up crazy hours and I was really passionate about these projects that I'm doing, and then the lack of sunlight, and then me being on the screens all day, it was almost as if my body was growing accustomed to it always being dark, because we know that the time has shifted, and it's getting dark at like 4:24 p.m. And now if you're like me, where I'm out in my bed between, let's call it 6 to 9 a.m., I'm missing a great bulk of those daylight hours. In fact, we all are, because some people work in buildings with no windows or lack of sunlight and fluorescent light bulbs. So it's almost like the circadian rhythm is off because we don't have that sunlight and nighttime differentiation. And I think it was starting to play on my psyche a little, because I've never felt like that before. There's no way that I'm not tired. I adore 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. you know. So the fact that I haven't been sleeping is a testament to where I'm headed, because these last several months I had been off social media. Come on with the fucking noise. The life of living in a city, my guy. When you are in a space, I completely forgot what I was saying because I just got so frustrated. When you are in this phase of creation, right? Think about the darkness that surrounded space. Let's just call it space because it is completely open and endless, right? And I feel like they're trying to create some type of mind control where we are just getting accustomed to being indoors a lot of the time. The only people you'll eventually see out are of some type of like upper echelon. I almost feel like they're gonna try to recreate the concepts of watching people on TV, award shows, red carpets, photos, you know, while we're getting all of that on the internet and the information is getting to us super duper fast. Think about how fast you'll hear or see that a show or something of that nature, concert, was recorded, and then immediately you see it online. Like, I thought about Jermaine Dupri and those stupid socks during the Super Bowl, and I'm like, nah, the Oompa Loompa memes, like the many memes that was coming out like hours later was hysterical. Do you know? So it's like the information is coming to us so rapidly, and you're consistently behind your phone. You're not even paying attention when you're driving. You're not paying attention when you're walking. You're not paying attention when you're sitting. You're just not paying attention because you're so immersed in your devices that it's causing you to have vices, because you're not realizing that you're missing out on sunlight, social interaction, actually learning people and emotions and what makes a person tick, enjoying movies and sporting events and game nights, you know, without distractions. Because at the end of the day, a cell phone is a distraction. It keeps you trapped and in a stagnant position for how long it is. Think about a jail cell. You're in that cell and you have but so much space to do what you do. Y'all gonna keep getting comfortable with them feeding you new technology and more technology from the comfort of your phone. That shit gonna be like do 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 hologram. Hi, mom. Like, what? It's gonna be wild if y'all continue to allow them to run this show. And you know, I'm of course guilty of it because I'm recording for you all, but y'all don't, the people who have my number, no, we all be on do not disturb. Like, everybody is protecting their peace. And I can't even get mad at the people who want to protect the peace, because I know who's a consumer and I know who are the leaders. So don't get me wrong, I'm so thankful for my community, and a part of my community are many leaders. In fact, it's probably nothing but leaders. And you have to be comfortable where you are, but also know that if you're in that stagnant sitting energy, I hope that you are the same person who also has 2-3 jobs, because if you are comfortable sitting leisurely on your phone, then if you physically are sitting in a 9-to-5 chair, then what else are you doing? Because there's so many remote jobs. What happens when they take remote away? Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to go into the office 3 to 5 times a week? What if they change it to 4/10s? 4/10s is real popular right now. You know, I have been making a serious decision to decide if I want to go all in on entrepreneurship or all in corporate, and I have a deadline scheduled for myself, and it is a very deeply introspective place to be in, because you cannot have distractions. You cannot talk to people about what it is that you're doing, because you have to have that internal compass. You have to know that whatever it is that you're deciding is because you are deciding it and not somebody feeding it to you and Now it's interfering with your true emotions. Do you know what I mean? So you really have to think about the things that you're doing and how that is going to look in 4 years. And I only say 4 years, I was talking to my homegirl, and she was saying how she wants to create a plan and for the next 4 years. It's a great beginning and end. Think about it. We start a new presidency come January, and then it ends in 2029. Just in time for 2030 when shit about to really pop off in the ethers. But that's neither here nor there. I had a McDonald's apple pie yesterday, bro. Insanity. First of all, what happened to 99 cents? Your food ain't even real, and y'all be charging a grip. Wow to me. But them apple pies still taste the same. Thank you for not changing the recipe. But anyway, thinking about my own experiences and how I just really want to sit out in the sun all day, and it makes me really sad because a lot of people go through depression. You start seeing people's behaviors and patterns and the way they act and respond, and studying. And I think it's just the psychology, sociology, major in me that forces me to pay attention to people and their patterns and habits. And there's a whole bunch of hawks right here, which is really cool. And realizing that people tell on themselves eventually. And this is what I mean. If y'all are so immersed in your phones, like we're watching TV and we're also on our phones. Like we don't know how to not multitask at this point. Men don't even multitask well. How are y'all doing it? Women being chaotic forces of energy. Yes, they got the octopus arms, they're able to move and segue and do what it is that they need to do in order to make sure that their homes are thriving. But I've said it before on many videos, more women you'll see the separation. There's going to be a group of women who want to raise the collective, so they're going to start quitting their jobs. And then you got another collective who was going to stick with corporate America. Black women are going to 10x and excel and do what it is that they need to do to maintain Babylon. But again, there is an expiration date on these things. One job is not going to be enough. Bro, they are accepting EBT for hot food. Do you realize the layup for this? This is some old alley-oop, like, score, and I'll just be completely transparent. My company had allegedly closed in June of this year, and I haven't worked for anyone since. And I hate it because you lose that consistent source of income, but it forces you to be a little bit more creative with how you make a bag. And I hadn't been here where I'm starting from ground zero because I had always had multiple sources of income. Like this sweater was a source of income, and it was $150 each pop. And this sweater is 4 years old, and look at the colors, it's still vibrant, but everyone who wears these sweaters, especially this one, talk about the durability and the quality, how it was high quality. But at the same time, regardless of how many of these hoodies I may have sold, I'm not trying to just do a hoodie every week. I need to sell 5 a day. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in place of that concept of selling merchandise, I was like, let's segue into trading full time. And that also comes with it woes, because you can lose mad money super duper fast. And then when your emotional state isn't at its best, it's impossible for you to trade effectively, right? It's impossible for you to trade effectively and actually continue to win when your emotions out of whack, when 9 times out of 10, half of the battle is truly mastering your emotions. So it's really been a deep introspective period from not working and, you know, towards the end of June until present day. We're officially on 6 months next week of no work, which is insane because it was not on my accord. I felt like, I don't even want to get into it, it's too much, but I just felt like it was poor timing, and the plans that I had designed for myself, you no longer want to allocate those resources to those types of plans. Like, just to speak frankly, I had donated to a local Pop Warner team, and it was a fruitful thing for me because I felt like when you give, your blessings are going to be 10x, right? And at that time, I never thought in my mind that I wouldn't be able to find another job. But at the same time, I should have knew that we were going into a very competitive job market because Wall Street Trapper was talking about this shit in January and February. He flat out said they gotta cut 1 million jobs. Will yours be one of them? Flat out. You need to figure out how you're gonna make money in a serious recession. Let's not forget, they still haven't announced a fucking recession, and we've been in a recession for a couple of years now. I'm a sip to that. Too bad it's coffee. Because, bro, and these are the signs. And I think that because they haven't forced us to recognize the signs, a lot of people don't pay attention to economics enough to know the signs of a recession, right? Maybe I should do a video on that next. And what can you do to prepare? So if I were you, I would probably stock up on the things that you need the most, especially with the tariff increase. Buy some non-perishables. Buy like a 10 or 20 pound bag of rice. Get some dried beans. Get some flowers. You know, while this may not sound like the luxurious items, but if these basic items start doubling in price, let's give it a $2 increase. Can you handle a $2 increase on your basic necessities? Most people cannot. $2 is fucking wild. Shit, I'm still complaining about the eggs that I use being $10, which is why I don't even eat them, because you must be out your fucking mind. I'd rather pay $10 for a chicken and actually allow that chicken to continue to reproduce like, and get some eggs for me. You know, just, we really have to wake up. And I think because we have not relied on indigenous habits to thrive, unfortunately we don't even know how to garden, farm, till a land, you know what kind of soil to use during the winter months, know what kind of soil you use during the summer months. I have my baby out here right now. We had repotted her, but when I repotted, all of the others died. And so I'm like, all right, I don't think that she likes it here. And it's cold, but when we had a lot of sunlight, that shit was huge. But we don't really have that much sunlight here up in Maryland right now. It is really winter coming, you know. So it's like, if I know that I need sun, then I know my plant needs sun too, right? And to go back, like I said, my sleep patterns have been altered because of that. What are you eating? What are the quality of foods that you're eating? My face, I felt like, was getting drier because I wasn't even eating the fruit that I normally get because I was kind of like on the go. And then I started kind of going towards mangoes and tangerines because that was like really the bulk of what I was eating. Apples, I'm like, apples are cool, but come on, they're boring. Like, I need a little pizzazz. I'm a big fruit mix type of person, you know. I just can't. But anyway, that's just me. But it's a really critical time for us to hone in and protect our temples and our bodies our minds, you know, as we segue. Like I said, you know, some black women are going to decide to be domestic again, and maybe it's time for husbands to go back to work. You know, I hope that the husbands, while they was at home with the children, that they was getting the educations, you know, getting these certifications, going to school. There's so many free online programs for people, and we're gonna need all of the tech people, and I'm gonna need to hire y'all, because I'm not sitting through education any longer, unless if it's like some honorary type shit or a certification that's gonna allow me to 10x to get to another level. I feel like I have enough expertise. Like, I was looking at somebody on LinkedIn, they had went to law school in 1978, and I'm like, he's still practicing? Like, what types of practices or what types of certification or what type of courses do you better not, what kind of courses are required for them to keep up with the law? You know what I mean? I feel like almost everyone's career should stop for 20 years, and then maybe it's smart to probably go into something else. You know, I feel like the days of 50 years in the same role, or that stuff is old. Like, I'm working on my 3rd career right now. I'm about to do another 10-year run, and I'm like, if this is the last career that I'm going to have, I need to do something that's amazing and worthwhile and fruitful, and something that's gonna allow me to pour into people more, because I need to shift the shade is coming. It's giving I Am Legend again. When Will Smith and the zombies, he was running for that. I should watch that. I watch this movie religiously. You just find so many new gems every time you watch it. That's my word. But yeah, I really think that it's important for us to recognize where we are as a people, where we are as an earth. You know, earth is dying in a sense, you know, because the man that created this chaos, they can't even keep up with the fucking chaos. You know, you have this guy who's worth $400 billion, and he's like a dictator in my, you know, concepts and ideas. And when I feel like people have too much power, they do foolish things and they try to amass more power. And the power isn't always for those to control. You know, sometimes you have to give. You know, I had been deeply studying the New Testament for the last couple of months while I was in this 50-something day of hermit mode. I think it was like 55 days of hermit mode. And, you know, just thinking about what that did for my soul, how it allowed me to transition into who I am right now, and allowed me to really study and practice and perfect my consciousness. Because sure, there's a conscious community, but if I really wanted to be petty, I would just roll off of my tongue all the things that I don't like about it. And while I adore that there is a community that's attempting to become one with others, there really needs to be a serious background check on people's fucking minds. You know, being, again, a psych major, I sit back and watch, and when I start seeing people patterns, because them shits get exposed, you realize that everybody's still out for themselves, you know, and a lot of people need some deep, serious healing and don't even know how to or where to begin to. And I can't help you with that. You know, I can only save myself at this point. I'm big on my oxygen mask, putting on first instead of last. I was that Captain Saver and trying to help everybody else instead of helping myself. And when you call your power back, you become a powerful, powerful force. And people could feel it. People know when I remove my power for them. Hey, y'all. All those people I removed my power from, because y'all still watching. You know, I finally posted up on my socials this week, and I hate it. I had went from 70,000 people on my page every single month to 2,500. And I was like, okay. I'm still making money. I was getting freaking invoice payments from videos that I had put up months ago from July. I don't care about not being on the internet anymore. Don't. Well, that's all I got, folks. I'm about to fry up some chicken. I have been seasoning. I kind of want to do it while it's still kind of daylight. I can air out the house because nobody want no fried chicken smell and everything. That shit is terrible. And yeah, that's it. So I pray that all is well. I pray that during this holy day season that you forget about gifts. You know, it's not about that. It's really about where your spirit lies with the Most High, because you're celebrating Christmas when you really should be recognizing that you're celebrating the sun rising in the sky every day, and you don't even go outside to take advantage of that. Make it make sense. Peace.